We finally got you back on stage.
Yes.
Do you think they're glad to see you?
I think so. Hello.
It's been a while since you've done a convention.
It's been over 4 years, hasn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Been hiding in New Zealand.
Yeah.
It's been great. Yeah. Great work.
Does she look good?
Yeah.
I know the musical episode didn't happen, but I've heard that you guys were doing a little work on the songs. I don't know, any chance we could get you to maybe hum something or...
You know, Sharon, I don't sing in front of my husband much less, but that's all right. I can't say no to all of you after all this time. Okay.
But do you need something to?
My favorite song out of the selection was last. Oh, I won't tell you. Do you know?
No, they don't know.
Well, cue something up. We'll wing it.
You mean, in other words, you want me to see if my sound man might have a little music to play for you? Wonder if that sound man has some music.
Last dance, last chance for love. Yes, it's my last dance for romance tonight. I'm gonna keep going. I need you by me, beside me, to guide me, to hold me, to scold me, 'cause when she's bad, she's a songbird. This last dance, let's dance. This last dance, let's dance. This last chance tonight. Last dance, last chance for love. Yes, it's my last chance. This romance tonight. Oh, I need you by me, beside me, to guide me, to hold me, to scold me, 'cause when I'm bad, I'm so bad. So let's dance, the last dance, let's dance, this last dance, let's dance, the last dance It's our warrior princess, Lucy Lawless. Yes.
Wow, that was lovely, wasn't it?
Contrary to popular opinion, I actually didn't know whether or not you were rehearsing this. So whose idea was it to do this?
I had some crazy idea of doing something else, a piece of performance art, where I'd be singing, "Did you ever know that you're my hero?"
And I was going to do a ballet.
Renee's going to be wearing a tutu and coming on like black tights. But
I called up Lucy and said, Lucy,
I'm pregnant.
I'm really
I ain't
pregnant.
wearing tights.
So,
No, I have to give Renee credit for that one. That was a good song, and it was our karaoke version of Let's Dance for You.
what would have made the musical. Sort of.
So she didn't mind that you told her you were going to get her on stage live to sing in front of 4,000 people? She didn't mind that? Renee didn't
Well, I
mind that?
had no idea I would be starting the song. I thought, when I called Lucy, I said, Lucy, let's sing together. I'll come out, and kind of do a doo-wop in the back. So, anyway.
It's hard, though. I've got to say, that's really hard, getting out and singing publicly.
Oh, well. It's fun. Anyway, it was good fun. Why not? Why not?
Yeah, this is kind of a special event because this is the first time we've been together. And you won't see that very often.
Yeah.
Just because any time that we're not at work, we're in private with our families. And, yeah, we seldom get the opportunity to go out separately altogether.
Much less
Yeah.
perform.
We've got some questions. I've been soliciting questions on the email. We got 648. What are you looking at me like that for?
No, just waiting.
And in fact, the most requested question was, is it true that Renee O'Connor is taller than Lucy Lawless?
Yes. Yes, that's quite true.
Absolutely.
I can't tell you how many people
High
asked that.
shoes.
I can't believe all the people who believed me.
You want to tell them what that was from? Why everyone thought that? There are, honest to God, people actually thought that.
Oh, we were just,
remember what that
we're
was?
always goofing around, and if people ask us a question, you're as likely to get a true answer as not from us. I'm afraid.
Try to amuse ourselves and each other.
We make things up.
Is there any time you have to do anything to accommodate the height difference between you? Are there any episodes where something might have had to be done?
Yes. We did this, was it
Heart of Darkness. Heart of Darkness. It was the dance between us.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we had to do that dance, and I'm wearing 6-inch heels.
Because
And
she's not tall enough, right?
Yeah.
I'm going, Lucy.
And Renee's wearing flats. So they say, look, it's a big wide, it's a tight shot, tight two shot, and we really need you both in the same frame. So Lucy, could you
Bend your knees and make Renee
break
taller.
your height?
Yeah.
Right. So I go, oh, okay, it's a little weird because I'm wearing the high shoes. It makes it silly. So I'm stalking around like a praying mantis.
I'm going,
And it's also a wide. I didn't know they had also a wide camera running at the same time. So in the wide, you can see me. If you go back and watch that episode, and Lucy's going in my super high shoes. I was so mad.
yeah. But you did the huge fight afterwards. With
Oh,
these, stilettos. It's like,
yeah.
crazy.
I've sworn off stilettos for the rest of my life. Can you see these down the back?
Woohoo! They have
These are my,
spikes. There's spikes in the bottom of them.
These are my Spider-Man shoes. I did a cameo on Spider-Man when I was in New York just for a day or two, and Sam Raimi was shooting there, and he said, "Come on down, and we'll stick you in our movie." So they did. So if you blink, you'll miss it. But
She looks like this.
I got to keep the outfit.
That is the outfit. You didn't just get that out of your closet.
Well, it is the outfit out of my closet. It's becoming part of my part of my wardrobe.
Ah. I want to take you guys back a little bit to the first time you met. Now, Renee, you auditioned for Gabrielle, but you had already worked for Rob and Sam, right? Doing, what had you done for them before?
I
What came
played
first?
Dayanara.
It's right up against your mouth, and
Don't do this.
no, do that.
Do that.
Okay, and you go over there so they can look at
Okay.
you.
See, she's directing me. I knew she was going to start this. She's a director and a writer and an actor
Yeah.
and a singer
Yeah.
and a dancer. What was it? Dayanara. Yeah, I played Dayanara on Hercules, and then and then Rob said, I'd like to see you play opposite Lucy and Xena. So
did you actually audition for
I
Gabrielle?
definitely auditioned.
Yeah. Do you remember what they have you read?
What did they have me read? Oh, they had me read the first. It was obviously the first episode. This scene where I'm trying to convince them not to kill Xena. So I was the lawyer in front of the group, trying to convince them.
Did you think you were going to get the part?
Oh, I don't know. You never really know. I think I had about 4 days when they finally made a decision to say, okay, you're going. And I packed up and moved to New Zealand. I thought maybe just for the first season. Little did I know, yeah.
Except they wrote that part for her. Yes, that was the part. Rob always had that part in mind for Renee. So it was developed for her. They still had to run all the auditions by the studios. So that was the only reason she was auditioning, but she was always the first pick.
So you guys,
Yeah, of course.
So you actually didn't read together at that point?
No, but I met Lucy, what was it, a couple days before, a couple days after, at a dinner.
That's right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
And yeah, I had no idea that I was going to play Gabrielle, but I remember meeting you, and you were taking martial arts lessons at the time. And that was here in Los Angeles. And then
Do you know what in fact, I don't remember that at all.
I remember that.
Was that here?
Yeah.
It must have been here.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the first
But
time
I don't
met her.
remember like last week, truly.
Renee can probably tell you what you had for dinner, right?
Yeah, Renee's my touchstone for everything.
This from the woman who can't remember nibbling on Kevin Smith's chest, right? Yeah.
I remember that one episode, but no.
No, it just goes right out.
It's because it's planned, when you know, it's you and the director and Kevin, we're going, okay, should we do this? You're trying to plan the shape of the scene and that the relationship should be hotting up, so you will choreograph it's
always
to be getting
technical.
hotter, so it's technical.
Very
and then
technical.
you do it, and then you go, great, nailed that, what's next?
Yeah.
And now I'm really miffed because I go, I've been kissing Kevin Smith for 6 years
That's a tough job,
and never felt
huh?
a thing. Can't remember it. What a waste. You
So-
don't want to hear that, I know.
I'm thinking, like, for Renee, getting this part meant that you were going to be moving to New Zealand, pretty far from Texas, for anywhere from 5 to 7 years. So did you take that into account when you signed, nodded your head and signed the contract and said, I'll do this?
No, as I said, I had no idea that, I thought the show would continue because I knew Hercules was doing really well, and I'd met Lucy, and I just thought that they had a sure thing. But I didn't think that Gabrielle would be tagging along for more than maybe 1 year. So,
What'd you think they'd do to her after a year?
oh, put a knife to her throat.
Marry her off.
Yeah.
But every guy she ever kissed kept getting
Killed.
killed. So
Lucky I
funny
stayed.
that.
So, Lucy, if the situations had been reversed and you'd have to leave your country, would you have been able to do that at that time?
I'm sure.
Xena had been filmed here and you won the part.
Oh, that's a good question. I think I would. Yes, I think I definitely would have
Moved
come over.
family and heart.
Right. You'd have to. It's a chance. It's the part of a lifetime, and I knew it then, and now I know it even more. That you don't get many roles like that in your career.
So, seeing as you don't actually remember the dinner, maybe Renee's know the answer. So I'm sitting, there's two actors who just have a part in a series, and you sit down and you meet, and you don't know each other, and you are going to be working very closely together. So,
Actually, I remember when I first arrived, Lucy apologizing to me, saying, we will have time to catch up later. I know we will, and you'll have to come over to my house, and we'll treat you to a New Zealand cuisine and stuff like that. But she was so busy with just trying to get used to the schedule that it took about a month or so. And I went over to Lucy's, and she had heard from someone that I liked jazz music, so she lent me a CD of women musicians who sing jazz, and we caught up, and she was introducing me to some of her friends. There were Maori, who are the indigenous people of New Zealand, and they were teaching me terms that I would need while I was there. And, yeah, it was good. It was a good night. Yeah, I met Daisy, and it was great. That was it.
And we've never been apart since.
getting any closer in the future now? So getting a series, I know Lucy's talked about, sitting in the makeup chair and crying, oh my God, I'm responsible for this show. Is that part of your makeup a sense of responsibility to hold a show together, to keep a lot of people at work?
Yeah. Yes. I can vouch for her.
Oh, were you asking me?
Yeah, no, that was a you question.
Oh,
That was the Xena question.
Oh God, yes. And for Renee too. You know, if you don't show up, those people have nothing to do for the rest of today.
Yes, but still everyone looks to the person who plays Xena, and she sets the tone for the friendship and the professional work ethic that we all had to have in order to accomplish one day. So, you know, Lucy had no pretensions, and it was great. And I had to put that in. Yeah. So, anyway, go on. Sorry.
No, I have to share that one with you, Renee, because it's always been a 2-star show. It doesn't matter who's got the. Well, it is. And it could never have been anybody else. So I, thank God every day actually for Renee. So. Oh, I know.
Oh.
I did.
Now, the sidekick role, which was what Gabrielle was written for in the beginning, in television, usually plays a part for the audience so that the hero can tell the audience what they're doing by explaining it to the sidekick. All right? And that's usually, they don't change, they don't get any older, they don't get pregnant, they don't do anything. we never know anything about them.
They never cut their hair.
Right. When did you realize that this character was going to be a little more than a sidekick? Is there any point at which you felt that this part was going to be more than just, as so many regular television shows, just kind of a tag along?
I never really thought about it as the sidekick being like the battling bard of Pododia. but it was just to tell the story. And how did you do that? You always need someone who could, cause all the problems and be the foil. So I had a good time doing it.
That's hard, though. I would find that very frustrating, that your character always has to be the one who causes the problem. And I think as the show went on and as we all got a little better at expressing what was right for our characters and better at listening to the others about what was right for the characters, for the show, that it was our purpose to make sure that everybody's needs were getting met, because that would make the show stronger. And I never felt that there was a point where one person's ego was dominating at the expense of the show. Do you know what I mean? So, maybe mine. It's like, maybe I just say that because I was the bossiest person around, but I don't know. We tried to be, I don't know, have a holistic environment kind of thing.
Each of you have worked with sort of legendary actors, James Garner for Renee and Anthony Quinn for Lucy. Can you tell us what it was like working with those gentlemen?
Oh, he was hot. Tony Quinn was...
And James, whew. Yeah.
In other words, you had a love scene with Anthony Quinn, right?
He was hot, actually. It was
James was actually really funny.
Someone was always fanning him down.
Yeah, it's funny.
But when you're 72 and you're kissing some 24-year-old, it's got to work up a sweat. Yeah. So...
Did you go home and tell your mom, guess what I'm doing next day?
It never occurred to me because I was so ignorant as to who he was.
Really?
Well,
he wasn't as
Anthony
popular
Quinn,
down there?
Oh, no, he's a legend everywhere, but I was 24 and stupid. What did I know?
And how was Mr. James Garner to work with?
I remember that he had this dry wit while I was working with him, and it actually set me up for living in New Zealand, because at first I took everything very literally. What's that? I took everything very literally. All the jokes just went, are they serious? I don't really know. Yeah, so I got the hang of it after a while. Now I can give it back, yeah. That's good. I like it.
Boy, can she give it back.
I'm living with one, so I learned how to,
wrangle them.
Yeah, wrangle those jokes in.
Renee went to a professional children's school when you were young, did you? Is that correct?
Professional children's school.
To be a professional child?
Oh, no.
Did I say that wrong?
I actually, quite young, I had an opportunity to go to a performing arts high school. And I went there, and I think it was in Houston. And
What is this, equal opportunity for performing arts school?
Yeah. No, it was great, actually, because I learned about different types of people and how everyone can create in a different way, whether it be through media, a dance department, music, acting. So it was great for everyone to come together and try to put on a musical once a year, even though I didn't get cast.
Never? Never? No.
I had one role, but it was all right.
Yeah.
I actually caught you on television the other day.
What was I doing?
It was one of those crime shows.
You didn't see that.
I saw that.
You saw it? Oh no. I look at Rob. Rob.
She's going, no, he didn't see it. He wasn't there.
Was that the
And I went,
FBI
"Is that
story?
Renee?" And she's going, you know what? She's playing a hooker, undercover cop. How come we always get the hooker role?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah, that
But
was
you say, I
awful.
can't seem to get arrested today.
Oh man.
So goes our careers.
God, yeah, that was it.
You both seem very emotionally in tune when you work together. How do actors support each other in a scene?
Listen to one another. It's just talking to one another and making every situation real to you. And your first inclination when you're new to this kind of a script is to treat it like high drama, big goofy situation. But that's, I found,
Right.
the wrong approach. You've got to pretend that this is just as natural as can be, that, you know, one of us is going to get crucified and then, okay, and then you get reincarnated
Yeah.
and become my child.
And then you're going to be eaten by crabs.
Yeah,
but it was
and then I'll get eaten by rats,
But
and
it was
it'll be really good.
But it's so true. We came and we just looked at each event and said, how does this relate to us? What are we going to lose personally? And if this were, you know, and if we were in this position, and we just kept it, yeah, we kept it as real as possible. If people would come in and they would want the characters to be a caricature, then I remember, especially Lucy, she said, you know, what we try to do is find the heart in the show and keep it as real as possible. And it seemed to work. Yeah.
Look for the love. Look for the love. Do we need to be like standing up closer or something?
I was going to say, you know,
Come
every
forward.
once in a while, just like make sure you don't stumble off the edge of the stage, but
Okay.
find the end of
Maybe
the
we'll
stage.
swap over.
Because that gets you just a little bit closer, and you can wander. You can even wander out of the lights. Because these people, I wander like over here, you know, because so
Okay.
up close and personal, those guys. And I will do my best to stay out of camera range. For all the budding actors out there, and I get a lot of email from people saying, okay, what can Lucy and Renee tell us about acting? What's the most destructive thing you can do to a fellow actor?
This. Okay, if you guys are the camera, and we're having a scene, this is called 50-50, when you're an absolute profile, and you keep going, oh yeah, blah, 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 blah,
And this person has to go,
blah, blah, blah. So it's all on you.
or if
And our-
she's on camera and someone's back here and they're supposed to be doing the lines and they're, you know, having a cigarette. Yeah, Zena, that was really frightening, you know, or something. They're not paying attention.
Or if...
Not that that happens.
Okay,
We're really,
so you're on her,
very
and I'm
lucky.
playing my off lines, and I'm going blah 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 blah, and my hands going like this in front of the face, as we had happen very often. Ted Raimi, you know where you are. No, it's just a habitual. You know, people are expressive or whatever, but when it's an over the shoulder, you've got to keep all your gesticulation out of
Yeah.
their shot. It's just good manners.
and it helps when everyone is, present and they're actually, helping me to work.
You got-
help me. Do you remember that? Oh, no.
You guys delivered a lot of your... You guys
an
delivered a
in-joke.
lot of your offlines, didn't you, for each other? Whereas that isn't always common. Sometimes, lead actors don't. I would remember seeing, back behind the scenes footage, you would even do it for guest actors.
No, very seldom would you not do your offlines, because Renee and I care that they are as good as they can be. Only sometimes, on one occasion that I can mention, it's not as good for the guest actor because sometimes they're a little intimidated and they're much better working off a double than you. So, you try to be
Interesting.
sensitive to that.
Right. Renee said in an interview that there was a point at which you were ready to give up trying to be an actor. Uh-oh. Got a little outrage
Oh, you
here.
talking about me?
No, that was right. In other words, so what... I sent
Like
her
right
away.
now.
She's going to pout. Okay, she'll cry.
Yeah.
What was that point?
Oh, well, just very briefly, it was, must have been a year before, 2 years before I started Xena, and I just wasn't sure I was on the right path to reach the career that I wanted, and just decided, I don't know, decided after some reflective thinking that I should keep going. And I'm so glad I did, because I've definitely become a different person from working with Lucy and having the character of Gabrielle. It's pushed me beyond what I ever thought I could do, so it's been great.
That's something that I frequently hear, that the ones who don't, not necessarily the ones who don't make it, but once you give up, then you're not going to stand a chance, right? What you do? What you do?
I don't know.
Would you?
I keep staring at her nose ring.
Bad Lucy came today. I got up this morning and good Lucy just wanted to stay in bed. She had PMS. So bad Lucy showed up.
Is that nose ring real? Did you have it pierced today? We should, because there are going to be a lot of pictures of that nose ring.
I know.
I know, but if you take it out, it's a very discreet hole, so it's fine.
It's a very discreet hole, she said.
Unlike the ones in my...
Do you think you would have ever given up trying to be an actor? Lucy?
I did have one of those crises of faith a couple of years before Xena, probably, but and I was sitting on this big red beanbag at my parents' place watching the Oscars, and Whoopi Goldberg was comparing that week, and she said, "And for all those kids out there who want to be up here, you better believe it, kid." And I went, "Yeah, damn, I'll stick with it." And I'm so glad I did. I'm not very good at anything else.
The pairing up of actors is a gamble. At what point, so you met each other and you had nice dance lessons together over at Lucy's house, but then you had to go to work and start acting. At what point did you realize that you were going to work well together? Can you remember?
I don't think there was ever any question of it.
Really? Why not? You were two strangers. How would you know that you could do that?
That's a very probing question,
I don't-
Sharon.
actually, I don't
Good
know if it
one.
was so much about...
You know, nobody ever asked us that before.
Yeah. I don't, for me, I don't know if it was so much about not being able to work together, but about becoming really good friends. That probably,
Right.
that evolved, didn't it?
And I think by the 8th episode, when we were starting to get all the, the subtext feedback and feminist role model stuff, I think that's when Renee and I probably knitted a bit tighter because you were asked. No. No, because it both gave us something to hook our working relationship on, perhaps. It was something that we both went, that's funny, let's. Yeah. So that would have been our first professional hook, I guess.
You've also both talked about the difference in your acting styles. So was there a period of time of learning to meld them together?
No.
Yes, yes. Yes, there was. It was in the 5th season, and Renee and I, because we had always acknowledged our differences, but never tried to understand them and pull them apart, because I was
couldn't
I
discuss
was
it. It
not
just
an analytical person. We would just argue.
Yeah.
When we'd go, no,
But when you try this...
And then we started to open our ears up properly and see where each other was coming from. And I borrowed a bit from her that worked for me, and
I
she
definitely
borrowed
borrowed some from you. Yeah, that
we
was
borrowed
good.
a lot from each other,
I use
and we still approach things differently because our brains work differently, but we got a common language at least. But she'll never let me run lines with her because Renee does all these play readings and things. She's quite active with after-school activities of reading plays and, well, after work, And so Renee's learning all these scenes, right? And I'm going, I'll help you. And she's going, no, thank you, no.
Well, it'd be like
And I'm
Hedda
like, "Oh, God, I
Gabler.
really wanna
Lucy's
go."
like, I've always
Oh, I love
wanted to
Hedda
be
Gabler.
Hedda Gabler.
Oh,
Like,
I love
but-
Hedda
but-
Gabler.
but-
It's my favourite. I understand it inside and out. And so we're reading, she goes, all right then. So she gives it to me. And I'm going, Henrik, it's
I
Doll's
would say,
House. What do you
Lucy,
want to-
just do it flat, all right?
Look, flat has no place in my, in my process, all right?
Yeah, I have no room for being flat. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't read anything flat.
It's very funny.
And we just both laughed, and after that.
Anyway, she did help me though many times. I go, okay, I've got another play here. I've got to learn these.
Would you just read it flat, please?
Don't give me anything back, okay?
So
Flat has no part in my process, Renee.
in other words, you tend to do everything full out when you start.
Yeah.
Don't forget to visit over here.
Should we go?
She went the other way.
Yeah. What is it? What was the question?
Does
Oh,
Lucy?
no,
So you don't tend to do anything.
You go-
You do
okay.
things full out.
You answer that.
I think Lucy uses her instinct. Yes. I think
she has no discipline whatsoever. She just uses her instinct.
No. But she's absolutely connected to the material when she walks in and knows how she feels in that scene. So.
I don't think it's that I plan it. I've just
I just
read
think
it and
you just-
digested it, and then I just go and be it. And I don't know how it's coming across or anything, but that's my approach. And Renee will approach it in a completely different way, and I don't know what that is.
Still,
it
6 years
works.
later.
Yeah. But yeah, it works. And
Yeah.
in the end, you get to the same place, which is a place of true listening, and that's what seems to move people on screen watching, you know.
Yeah, I think you once said that you do what Lucy would do if Lucy were Xena under those circumstances.
Right.
So the question is, could you imagine a part you could not play because you couldn't get there, be there, feel that?
I'm sure there are some. I can't imagine them, but I'm sure there are some.
American Psycho, you'd have to be.
I love that. I actually really like that movie.
Jodie Foster pulling out of Hannibal. Because of the ending. I must admit I haven't seen it, so don't give it away.
I don't know what the ending
But-
is. I mean, there's lots of different reasons for, I would imagine, for her turning down a sequel. There's a lot of business reasons you might do that. But, no, I haven't. I don't know.
You can't
I
think of
don't
it,
think
yeah.
so, but I'll find out the hard way, that's all.
If
I thought maybe the sitcom would be, that was quite a learning curve when I visited on Just Shoot Me. And
because of the
just different format, different. The camera's a million miles away from you because it's multicam, and the way we work is single camera, which means the camera's generally quite close to you, and you know how to act in relation to the proximity of the camera.
So you can literally play to the camera the way Xena was filmed.
Right, and that way I just didn't know what I was doing because the cameras were a long way away.
But in a sitcom, you're just supposed to be living it out, and they're catching it.
But it's hard.
So
No,
that-
it's a much much more. Their format and their style of acting is much more heightened than what we do.
It's more theatrical, isn't it? Like it's on stage because.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but it's different. Because everything has to be really loud, and instead of just real. Even though it's completely wild circumstances, you just have to be real in the situation.
I was thinking of something that I talked to Renee about recently. The end of Helicon, where Xena says Xena's pulled her off from the fighting. The battle's over, we've won. And Gabrielle comes up to her and Xena says, your people need you. I think it was your people need you. And if you're watching it, she just kind of gives this ever so slight shrug. And I'm thinking that's probably not, I described that to you when I was down there, and you just kind of went, no, little tiny one. In other words,
It was probably a nervous twitch, right? Or I had to scratch.
no. It was perfectly in character and perfect for the scene. But I'll bet you didn't think of it. It just came out. And that the camera would catch on that, might not on a sitcom
Is that true?
camera.
Can you remember?
I couldn't remember at all. No. No?
Speaking of directing, all right, we're going to turn to the budding director here. Now let's see which one answers this question. When you started working on the first episode, Deja Vu, was there anything that surprised you? You had followed T.J. Scott around when he was directing Adventures in the Sin Trade, preparing yourself, and I gather you'd probably read things and talked to other people. What was the biggest surprise as a director that caught you off guard? As man, I didn't know that was going to be like that.
The time schedule. There's this huge clock in front of you. It's not literally, but in your head, and it's just going and going. Every word that you try to give to the crew. And you start, I swear, it feels like you're starting an hour late once you join everyone on set. So that was the hardest problem, I believe, for most directors, is just trying to keep the schedule and yet trying to maintain your creative ideas along the way. I think it was somewhere in the year 3 of Xena, I asked Rob if I could direct an episode, and so he obliged and gave me a little 4-part episode, and that was a challenge. And then just recently, last year I said, I'd really like to try one more time since this is our last year, and he went, oh, okay, Renee. And next thing I knew, I had this 8-day episode that had so many stunts in it and gags that I was completely overwhelmed, but excited because it all went together quite smoothly. So yeah, I think I had the directing bug as well as the acting bug. Now it's just a matter of trying to juggle family, directing, and acting all together. But I'm sure it can be done. So it's just a matter of getting out there.
You did one comedy, and then you did an action, a straight action, Xena action. Did you prefer one over the other? Was one harder than the other?
The first one was the hardest for me because it was also new, and I was trying to juggle, obviously, the inexperience of leading the crew with acting. But the second one was more of a challenge technically because we had so many fights that we had to accomplish and gags in every scene. So it wasn't just a simple scene with dialogue by a campfire. I learned so much from the special effects department, from all the departments actually.
Did being an actor help you at all as a director?
Being an actor, I don't think so. Actually, I found myself trying not to over-articulate exactly what I wanted and to keep it simple because we don't have the time to go through a lengthy discussion of the scene, and we just had to, move forward. So maybe it did. I don't know. Maybe because I just said, okay, I want you to do this, and I don't know, Lucy.
What?
Yeah, no.
All right, I got 2 more for her here. Go stand over there, okay. Oh my God. Am I gonna get mail? After directing the show, did it affect your acting?
The first time it did direct my acting because I realized how actors can play for a certain lens that I didn't really think about while I was acting beforehand. And I think I thought of it for one episode and then I forgot completely. So.
And it was for my shot. She told me that this is a long lens and it's really crunchy and
like the camera might be far away, but it's actually here on you or something. So to not be deceived.
She passed on her knowledge.
It's funny. Yeah.
So you've had other actor-directors, like Charlie Siebert. Did you notice a difference between actors who were previous?
Oh, there's always a big
directors who were
difference
previous
between
actors?
it. And every director has a forte. Often a director who has not been an actor will say, I want you to give me this result. Be funnier. Or I want you to talk faster. And an actor will go, okay, what makes me want to talk faster so it comes from an organic place? Well, actor-directors know that. And they will say, this is the effect I want. Can you, what do you want to do to produce this? And then you'll workshop it with them to get something that is hopefully funnier, faster, gives him the result he's after. Whereas technical directors will just say, can you just...
Yeah.
And they'll lick their fingers
like
or something. They can't express, they can't help you get to the place. And once you're experienced enough, you can do that for yourself. But it's very difficult.
But it makes it
for
so
new
much easier
actors.
for actors, doesn't it, when you don't have to process what they really want and then try to make that organic.
Especially for inexperienced, newcomers. Yeah. What? Did we answer the question? What was the question?
Yeah, you did. No, you did just fine. Difference between acting directors and directing directors. Change of pace. Now let's see who answers this question. You enjoy singing and you've worked a bit with a band recently. Any thought of giving that more of your time?
That's got to be you.
I just muck around with my friends, so yes. Yes, that'll continue. I'm planning activities rather than projects, so that'll be part of my life.
What's the difference between an activity and a project?
Well, I don't know, project, something that I can tell you right now I'm gunning for, and I don't have any of those at the moment.
So in other words, it's not that you're going to record an album, but you're going to sing and play some more.
Just for some, yeah, we just
Right.
write songs, yeah.
Right, yeah.
I'm so pretty, you're so pretty. I wrote that.
A little rock and roll?
No.
What
no.
kind, oh, by the way, what kind of music is it that you do?
Punk rock. No.
Couldn't like hum a few bars or something, could you?
Oh my God.
It's not on
I'm
the
not
sheet.
in fine fiddle. I'm not in fine
It's
fiddle.
not
for
on the
singing,
sheet. You
Sharon.
don't have to. But if it comes out of you,
I will for yeah.
if it comes out
Done
of you
it
later
before.
on,
Okay.
right? All right. Someone here in this crowd is named Tracy Barlow, and she wanted to know, the character of Gabrielle has faced many physical and emotional challenges over the course of the series, and as a result has grown and changed in many ways. Has the change and the growth in Gabrielle paralleled anything in your own life?
No.
What growth? What are they talking about?
I've been stagnant for the last, no, actually, I think it's the other way around. No, it's actually, they go hand in hand because obviously we play these characters for such a long time that you bring so much out of yourself to relate to the characters. But
Gabrielle has had an impact on you?
oh, I've grown up on the show completely. It's yeah. I was the naive little Texan. And then I made some of the best friends of my life, and I'm so glad it happened in my 20s because I was learning who I will be and learning the value of working hard. My personal experiences definitely came into Gabrielle.
Well,
I
for
can vouch
instance-
for that. And no, everything's changed for both of us. And as Renee sorted out what she wanted and didn't want in life, she was, as you grow more powerful as a human being, you start asserting yourself, and that certainly happened for me and Renee.
But it's funny with the character of Gabrielle because she did become stronger later in the series, and that influenced me to I don't know, take charge.
I think
of,
Renee's become more assured, and I've become less assured in some way.
Why is that?
Not in a bad way, in a totally good, evolving way. I have a much more sympathetic ear. I've always been an empathizer, but a sympathizer is different. So,
Yeah.
And I think kids can either be young, or even young people can either be very assured and have to learn how to adapt and be flexible. Because I just realized that Gabrielle left home to go traveling off with a warrior princess, and you left Texas. You moved, pretty far from where home, so you couldn't just.
I'm trying to refamiliarize myself with my family. I've been gone for 6 years, and they were so wonderful. But you call for 5 minutes when it's 3 o'clock in the morning over there for them, and you're going, "Yeah, everything's really good," and So that was an experience.
Have you ever had to make a decision on your own because the time difference didn't allow you to phone home?
Oh, God, I hope so.
Yes, Lucy?
Renee, I would,
Go on.
correct me if I'm wrong, I would say that Renee makes all her decisions for herself. I'm not trying to rally the troops here, but that's just the type of person that she is. I might ask you what you think, but it's still only what you think. And she goes and makes her own decisions.
But don't you think I'm funny? I remember Lucille say something, and you would expect an answer right then, and I would kind of go and think about it. Do you know what I mean? And then I'd come back and.
I'm going, what? I can't even remember. What are you talking about?
I don't know, but actually I do. Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah, that's true.
Is there any skill you had to learn to play your parts that wound up being useful in real life? And that is from Mark Allen, Leanna, and Desiree Slatke. So if you're out there, your questions are coming through.
Boy, I use that bullwhip every night.
I feel a certain amount of closure with the character. There was nothing that I feel that I didn't get to do. You?
Oh, no. No, I did more than I ever expected.
Yeah, it was so challenging every step of the way.
New lessons, every couple months. Okay, now you're going to learn how to crack a bullwhip. The week before, you're learning Indian dance lessons,
Renee was great at that. She was very disciplined. They'd ask,
we
they'd set up a new challenge, and Renee would go for weekend practices.
We were finishing filming recently, and Lucy, it was quite late in the evening. Lucy came out, and she had a bald cap on and a beard. And she came out, and no one really knew who she was. And she's got this, masculine walk going on. And I think they're going to...
It was because we had some stalkers waiting up at the gate, so...
No one had ever... Yeah, it was...
So I put this bald cap on. I went out to the crew and said, excuse me, everybody. Want to say something? Just, there's some very strange people hanging around, so just keep your eyes open. And by then they knew it was me, and it was just a stupid crew gag. It was a really bad bald cap, but it was funny.
That sounds a little like your Bill Clinton voice. You're very good.
That was my Kiwi bloke voice.
But you're very good at imitations, Stevie Nicks, and again, I...
Sang!
So does that just come from listening to... Stevie Nicks has a very distinctive voice, so did that
I could do a Stevie Nicks for you.
Sure,
so I can
go
only
for
do
it.
a character today. Okay, which song? Now there you go again, you say you want burritos. I sure hope you can keep them down. It's only a flower today used to wrap around your beans now. And have you any meat you like to sell? Beans of loneliness when the heartbeat just... See... That was so silly. You can't...
Man, and that question wasn't even on the sheet. All right. Most favorite costume that you got to wear outside of your own, which I'm sure you adore.
Renee's beaded one. Renee's doubles beaded outfit. I actually requested one of those after the show so I could check my bonbons. Her go-go costume, remember the beaded go-go costume? Well, I couldn't fit into Renee's because I was like 8 months pregnant or something for the musical, and but her double is a much bigger person, so I went and got hers and surprised the crew by coming out pregnant with it.
And you shocked Ted, didn't you?
Shocked Ted many times. Anything we could do to shock Ted.
Are you referring to a blooper that at the end of a...
Yeah, there was lots of times, just when Ted's longtime friend's pregnant wife starts coming onto him on screen. It just freaked him out. Anyway, it was again a crew setup. Sorry, now what was the question? There was a...
The question was favorite costume.
Favorite costume, Ren?
When you were going under...
Oh, yeah. How about the one... when we were Cinderella, the Cinderella story that went around, and how was that goofy? The one with the black teeth and then
What was
hair.
that face? What was that face? I want to see that face.
Yeah.
Come on up here.
Yeah, that was a favorite. That was good.
I still didn't see
freeing.
that face, Renee. I want to see that face.
I did it for Lucy. Yeah. Okay.
Least
Thanks, Zuna.
least favorite costume.
Least favorite costume. We love them all.
Except perhaps when the rats were decorating your body.
Hiding, and I was hogtied on the cold mud on the concrete floor. And all these rats were coming down chutes at me, and they're trying to hide up your skirts and down your breastplate, and oh my God! Please, Sally, give me a tetanus shot, please.
How about the crucifixion outfits?
Ooh, they were nice.
They kept coming back.
Oh,
You knew when they
the
had
ruched
them
sacking.
and they started walking toward you that you said, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, they were pretty awful. You knew when you were going to put those sacking costumes on that you were in for a bad
Something was
day.
going to happen that day. Yeah.
So you would see the costume before the script.
Oh, we remember
Sometimes.
That.
Yes.
They're good.
Xena spent, I guess this is a Lucy question, 5 years without ever showing her midriff. Then in the 6th season, hardly any costume she wore met in the middle.
Really?
Was that your choice?
Hell no. Oh, no. No, and it was like 3 or 4 months after I'd had a baby, and I'm going, you're putting me in a harem, belly dancing? Are you kidding me? And I must say, it does make you think about doing your stomach crunches a little more. But see, Renee's just got abs of steel. And she...
Oh, I shouldn't do
Hey,
that.
you're not at home now, right?
I used to do that to Lucy when you were pregnant. Now I'm doing it to you.
Renee, how many months pregnant are you?
I'm 5 months.
5 months, and she's so small. That
Not
baby's
long
in
now.
here going, oh my God, it's so tight in here because she has worked her abs.
It's really loud, too.
Yeah, she's ab woman.
Okay.
So you'd go to her for tips, huh? And say, okay, I got to wear this costume. Show me how you do that. Lend me your, what's that, beach ball type thing that you were?
It's a fitness ball. And I've noticed they don't have them here in California. Do they?
Yeah, oh yeah. Those big balls.
Well, anyways, yeah. No, I would just stretch on them and I've learned how to.
Walter Teague has a question. At the beginning of the series, Renee stated in an interview that you were very modest and shy. Well, that's the public perception. Just recently, he read that
very different, yeah.
that you were encouraging your customers to make your characters' costumes more sexy. What caused this change in attitude? And he is not complaining.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Walter. I think. No, I actually found that when they would change the costume, that I could move more and
She was just looking so damn hot. She went on.
No, just
taking it all off.
I wasn't complaining because, first it started off with the Little House of the Prairie skirt that I couldn't move in, and then it changed to the sports bra, and it just kept. I don't know. I mean, every stage of the costume fitted the character perfectly, and as the character evolved.
But the straps kept getting narrower and narrower.
And everything got smaller, though, so it was in proportion
Not
to the
your
rest.
boobs. Did anybody notice that?
She's not wearing a Xena Wonder bra tonight?
No, far out. What can you say? It's all natural and pregnant, and, that's the benefit of nature. God bless. Yep. Woohoo.
What happens after the pregnancy, Lucy? To the lovely chest.
Oh, God, don't even go there. I don't want to know. You don't want to know. Oh, jeez. Okay.
An upcoming episode, I'm going to say a title now. So if you don't want to hear the title, plug your ears. An upcoming episode called Many Happy Returns, which is a comedy, has Xena and Gabrielle playing practical jokes on each other. Do you guys ever do that in real life?
I don't even
No.
remember that episode.
No.
What was that? Oh, yes. I do now. No, yes, Renee tries to pull all these really lame jokes on me.
What I remember are the times of teasing between us, because the more we got to know each other, the more our friendship infused into our acting. And in between times, there was lots of opportunities for trying to make the downtime fun. And so we're always, Renee's always playing these really lame practical jokes.
I started that recently.
And I always come along and thwart them quite by accident.
So we're going to hear some of them, right?
Oh, she'll put, you know how annoying it is to have crumbs in your bed? Well, she'll put like crumbs on my seat, and I keep thwarting them completely by accident. Just come along, she'll.
Yeah, but I had spent so much time making sure, while I was sitting there waiting for them to light, to make sure that the light hit the breadcrumb just right so she wouldn't be able to tell, and she'd sit down in the little Xena skirt and just feel kind of...
We have so much time on our hands, clearly.
Anyway, she came over and wiped it all off, and so I thought, okay,
and she'll put slime on your door handles and...
But she...
What is that? Cling wrap on your toilet and that sort of thing. And I'll go, good one, Renee.
But it never ever works. It happens to other people. I think Rob grabbed the doorknob, and I said, he said, yeah, I was wondering who slimed her door. It's funny.
Yeah.
It's funny. Yeah. Oh well.
Or somebody else is in the
her.
Portaloo when Renee goes and, the Porta-John, and tips the thing up or attaches it to some truck that's leaving. And Lucy's not there.
Did you really do that?
But I will. That's great.
Now, we're talking about the jokes that Renee, so far, we only seem to hear about the ones Renee's pulling on Lucy, but we've been watching the 6th season blooper tape, and the God You Know had a scene in a hot tub, and someone got frisky with someone else's big toe.
Rob Fields? I thought we were going to keep that one in the crew only. No. I don't know. We
Just came over
sitting
here.
around, you got nothing else to do. You're a little hungry. Toe jam.
And my toe was there, so... It was funny.
What we were missing was a shot of your reaction, Renee.
She's going, ugh.
That was a cute little hat Renee wore in The God You Know, seeing as while we're there. Was there any story behind that little hat?
Not much of it. I mean, I had this hat, yes, and so there was this little gag that I tried to...
Renee got drier than the rest of us. She did this joke where she goes,
Which nobody
"It's me."
thought was funny.
Because we didn't think it was a joke. We thought you did it so straight and so quick that we didn't know it was a joke.
I had this hat, and Adrian was there, and I come up to Adrian and I say, it's me for Eve. But so I take the hat off so she'd know, but the hat was this big on my head. So I'm going, it's me.
It's this kooky little moment. And we're all going,
what is she thinking?
and was it in the final cut?
No, it wasn't. So we actually changed it. So I say, come with me. It's just
You had to be there, but it was truly one of the goofiest film things that ever happened.
my finest moment, yeah.
That was an intriguing outfit that Xena had on at the time in the throughout most of that episode, actually. Do you remember the outfit you wore in that? Sort of a black G-string kind of thing.
I actually wore that bowling to...
She did.
I was asked him, can I take that outfit just so I can wear it at some event? And
You went out
so
and-
I went out bowling. It was Adam Sandler's birthday party. And somebody said, oh, come with me to Adam's party because it's, I don't know, his friend or lawyer or something. And so there I am in that little black netting G-stringy thingy. Bowling my little heart out.
Was anyone else bowling, or was the whole alley watching you?
I look cool with those little bowling shoes too, I gotta say.
We're just going to contemplate that image for a second here. There was also in The God You Know a rope dance. Yeah. Over tables, over people with fireballs.
I've never been so sore in my life. No upper body strength, just trying to hold
It was a
myself
very
up.
awesome dance.
It's
It was beautiful.
fun, yeah.
Did you have a lot of time to rehearse
actually,
that?
we had to rehearse quite extensively. I think it was a couple weekends. Yeah. No, actually, I had my stunt double Min and I working together hand in hand a couple Saturdays, and she made it look so easy. These flips, holding onto a rope on top of shields that are, off the ground. And so, yeah, we practiced and practiced.
Were you actually on those shields with men were just holding them, and you were walking across the top?
Yeah,
holding them up?
yeah, we danced across shields while they were holding them up. But whenever we had to do these little flippy bits, that was on a bit of a stage.
Doing.
I'm not doing anything. These cute little... Look at these babies down there. Hello, children. Look at them in their little costumes. You're very cute too. Can you guys down the back hear us?
So you're working together for 6 years and becoming very familiar with your styles. Can you remember a time when you surprised, either one of you surprised the other in the response to a scene, caught them off guard?
We always do, don't we?
I think the nature of true acting is that you're always... that you don't have a preconceived notion of what the other person is going to do, so every moment should be surprising. And a good, for all the actors out there, when you're attacking a script, that you take every opportunity to be surprised, and not in a real sort of, oh my God sort of way, but that every moment, every new thing you discover, a new piece of information, your character, it reads. And I have to say that's Bill Davis's piece of direction from X-Files. He was my teacher in Vancouver.
You
went
to his school. That's one of the things that you learned up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. You said you came back with a whole lot of, a big growth in your acting technique.
In
coming back
techniques,
from
yeah.
that.
And it takes years for those things to filter down, as you'll all know from your different fields. But I couldn't have asked for better teachers at a better time of my life.
From the old geezer in the back of the room, Jack McClure.
You know who you are.
Do you guys have any projects lined up? I've got some like quickie questions, and either one of you can answer it. Do you have any projects lined up?
Yes.
That's one for her. That's one for the little blonde. Yep.
Is it a point system? Okay.
Yep. Will there be a Xena movie?
I'm sure there will be, but in 5 years' time. I don't know. You can wait. I don't hear any talk of it.
The second most asked question was, what is Renee's middle name?
Renee.
Your name is Renee? Renee?
Renee.
Evelyn
Evelyn.
Renee O'Connor.
I'm named after my grandmother, Evelyn. But everyone called me Renee so we wouldn't confuse everyone. So.
Wait, I missed it. You're not Renee. What was she saying?
Evelyn Renee.
Evelyn Renee.
Yeah. Yeah.
Last day of filming, did you take any costumes or your weapons home with you?
I took my bathrobe. I took my bathrobe and moon boots. I've been wearing them at home, and they're so sexy. They're great. I don't know.
Yes, I did. I did take home my costume.
And a chakram?
And a chakram.
And a chakram.
Yeah.
It's all right, the Studios USA people aren't here.
But only one of the cardboard ones. I did, but I've got the old one, which for some reason I like better.
What do Xena and Gabrielle find really annoying about each other?
Xena never brushed her teeth.
I don't like it when she uses my chakram to cut fish.
I've got some baby questions. I'm going to rattle them off here. Do you know if it's going to be a boy or a girl? Have you picked out a name? When is it due? And any tips? That's it.
Okay.
I haven't a clue. I'm just along for the ride.
I can answer this one for her. She wanted to find out what it was, but the baby was being modest and wouldn't show itself, and it was too big by the time they tried to find out the gender. And
We're due somewhere in the fall.
And no, they haven't settled on any names yet.
No.
And any time that people ask, oh, what are the names you've got? You'll say, oh, I want Amy, and they'll go, oh, I'm not Amy, don't call it Amy. Have you noticed people do that when you say, oh, I want my baby to be called Jeremy? I wanted my kid to be called Geronimo, but apparently that was politically incorrect. I don't know why.
Well, actually, Lee and I were playing around with names, and we came up with Basil. And so I told Steve and his friends that I really actually kind of like this name. But that became the joke, and now for the rest of his life, he's going to be called Basil, I think, whether or not, we use that at all. But, yeah. Oh, well.
Has Lucy given you any tips on motherhood?
I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, now that Xena's finished, my husband and I have decided to start a family, so I'm already 5 months pregnant. Where I was nearly 4 months at the end of Xena, just hoping that Rob wouldn't need a pickup shot of me later. So, Rob, I'm not going to fit into this outfit in 2 more weeks, So, yes, so that's our plans for the rest of the year. First baby. I'll be asking Lucy many, many questions.
Yeah, we used to talk a lot about it on set.
And throughout the pregnancy, Lucy would ask me how I was doing, and yeah.
I knew what she was going through. Because it's tiring enough when you're single, let alone double. So I knew she was working triply hard, just being awake,
It's good.
Did they have to, now you've been pregnant for the tail end of filming, did they have to make any adjustments to because of your being pregnant?
Yes, they, what are you laughing at?
Oh, poor Renee, she still had to keep wearing,
the red outfit. Yeah, I did ask if they would just hike it up a bit, so we did that. But I was really worried that we would go into reshoots in about a month's time, and
it wouldn't match.
And nothing would match. So, yeah, that was it.
And speaking of the costume going up and down, do you think you'll stay in shape once you get parts that don't require you to show your magnificent abs? And either one of you can take this. Who's ever got the most magnificent abs?
That'd be me.
Competition.
That's really not me. She's still got better abs and she's 5.5 months pregnant.
I think, I don't know.
Yes, we're both pretty disciplined people, really. And now that we've got all this energy to expend on ourselves, it's easier to exercise than ever.
You've learned so many different skills, obviously, with the show. So, I mean, I think I'll use those to keep myself fit. Probably kickboxing and, stuff like that. So, yoga.
I'll be running to the fridge and doing this.
Chocolate cheese and chicken skins? I like this one. I believe it's to Lucy. Has Xena rubbed off on you? Has Gabrielle? I don't think he meant to be funny.
Has Xena rubbed off on you or Gabrielle?
He just wrote, has Xena rubbed off on you, to Lucy, has Xena rubbed off on you? Has Gabrielle? So I think he meant, has Xena rubbed off on Lucy and has Gabrielle rubbed off on Renee?
Well, thanks for clarifying that. I think it actually goes more the other way, that your personality, when you've got a long-term character, starts to be woven more visibly into the character as your character is fleshed out. I don't think I'm...
I was going to say, I think Xena's rubbed off on me.
Yeah, she's tougher.
That's interesting.
No.
I don't think anyone actually thought of that. Everyone thinks of working on your own character and how it affects you.
No, it's probably the person that you've been looking at for 6 years that affects you more strongly.
Good point. Who would win in Survivor, Xena or Gabrielle?
Xena would win all the, what are they called? The challenges where she's exempt, is it, or?
Yeah, like using the God power. No.
And then I would be the one that would try to get everyone off. I don't know.
She would win everything that's to do with physical prowess and the abseiling and the everything, and Xena would win by stealth. And I would win by just being tricky.
You would be the one with the alliances.
And going, Zoe, get my stunt woman to do the abseiling. Or what do you call abseiling here?
Abseiling, yep.
No, they don't. They call it something else. When you go up and down on ropes? Repelling.
Been away too long.
I'm going to head over this way with these 4 little quick questions.
Me too. It's good
Lucy,
work.
Lucy, are you going to cut your hair? Renee, are you going to let your hair grow? Renee, are you going to let your hair grow? Lucy, are you going to stay with dark hair? Renee, are you going to stay, what color is it this week?
I don't know. I don't remember. I'm just going to go with the flow. I'm not too worried about it at the moment, which is quite nice. Yeah.
And I don't feel a pathological need to disassociate from the role. It's something I have had my hair cut a little bit. That's just because it was a bit raggy. And I probably will let it go back to its natural colour, because dyeing my hair every 6 weeks, until I have to, it just is not a high priority for me, no.
Is there something that someone does for you now, or did when you were on the show, that you're going to hate having to do for yourself? Again.
Oh, that cooking thing. Feeding yourself. Oh my God. I keep going, do those children need feeding again, Rob? And I've got to do it?
We're actually having to figure out where you're going to go throughout the day. It was so easy having someone say, okay, you're supposed to be here at a certain time.
Oh,
and then
I love that.
12
See,
hours
I love
later,
that.
then you're back on track. But
Oh, I love the
it's
freedom
so
of
funny.
being able to make up your own mind to do whatever you want. Simple things.
Quite excited about all the choices I have, and I don't mean career choices, but the choices of what to do in a day, to be able to go to lunch or see my friends seems like such they seem like jewels. I've got all these jewels in front of me now, and I had forgotten that was something that was easily available to me before, because for a long time it just wasn't an option, so I completely forgot about it. So otherwise you're always like beating your head against a brick wall going, oh, I wish I was making movies, or I want to see my friend. Well, you can't keep complaining about stupid things like that, so you just stop wanting them to protect yourself. So now I'm just like tickled pink about all the things you can do in a day. It's exciting. There's so many hours in a day to do fun things.
I haven't started the cooking yet, so yeah, we'll see.
It's a nesting thing. I only bake when I'm about 8 months pregnant. So I go and I buy all this Martha Stewart stuff online, and then I never touch it again until the next time. Oh, they made a fortune out of me. I bought the stuff like how to crystallize flowers. Like I'm going to go out and pick flowers and cover them with sugar coating or something. Oh, that's the present.
Whoops.
Shouldn't have mentioned that.
I don't even know.
I'm going to give that to you for your baby shower.
Martha Stewart's crystallized flower.
Oh, you're going to love this. It really came in handy for me.
I'll put them on the wall. Decorate with them.
Renee's a really good present buyer. Americans generally, you buy a lot of presents for people, and in the first year or so, Renee would keep buying us presents. We're going, oh my God, what'd she get me this for?
It was Christmas,
And like nobody gives her anything back because we're all totally confused. We don't even buy things for our families.
It was Christmas and birthdays, yeah, but everyone just kind of goes, yeah, happy birthday, right? Okay.
Good on you.
Good on you, mate.
Renee's going, where's my present?
No.
It's a bit greedy, isn't it?
Wasn't that bad.
Aw.
They're going to miss you in New Zealand, Renee. It's going to be really sad come December.
Yeah.
Lucy, didn't you once borrow a book from your father to give your mother as a present? Uh-oh.
My family, presents in my family. The year one brother got a jar of pickles, and the next year one of my other brothers, the youngest Daniel, got a spider in a jar. And for my 18th birthday, I got a hole punch from The Office. Remember, Dad?
That must have been a reoccurring theme, because then later Lucy started taking the warts and the hair off of different characters that she would play and put them in a little package, decorate it nicely, and give it to one of our cameramen from his girlfriend.
But I'd have it come from all sorts of different sources. Like he'd be working down in another city on Lord of the Rings, and I'd send him some grody old wound, with hair in it and stuff. That was a prosthetic. And he'd get these nicely packaged little love gifts. That, Lucy!
I've got a long distance.
Oh, I've got something for you, Renee. Hang on. Oh, no.
Who's it from? What?
It's just one of my wounds.
Oh.
Yeah. You can use that later. Yeah,
Yeah, it goes with the rest.
I got a long distance question from Sally Jackson, who's 16. This is a granddaughter-grandmother question. 16, they're from the United Kingdom. And the grandma is 82, and it's the grandmother supplying the question. Is there any particular situation, fact or fiction, that you would like to be asked to portray?
Sorry, repeat the question?
Is there any situation, fact or fiction, that you would like to portray? Not necessarily a character. I think she's talking about a situation.
Well, you couldn't recreate this, could you? This is as surreal as it gets. I don't know.
Yeah, there's some things I'd really like to have done. Just to take people and make them see somebody experience a situation that you are never going to be in. There was this one part, I read a movie script, and of all the parts in it, there was a couple of great big parts, but I wanted this small part where the woman dies, effectively in the teaser. And you're introduced to this relationship. They're a husband and wife team and a friend. They are a nuclear or germ warfare, they're a worst case scenario team, and they will go into these installations when something goes wrong and they will fix it. Well, the husband and wife team split up, and the friend and the wife go down into this chemical warfare room where everything's going wrong, and the husband is up in the control tower. He's watching everything. He's, pushing buttons up there. And they've got helmets on their camera. And the wife gets locked in the chamber. And she's got 40 seconds to say goodbye. And the fear in her and the reality and trying to say what needs to be said, given all that going on, is something that I always wanted to do, to take you there. And this is how I would be in this situation. This is how one would hope one could be. But it would make you cry. I like to make people laugh, and I love to make people cry.
I remember the cave scene from The Abyss was something that actually people who I'm online with, I saw up through the part where Gabrielle is hallucinating. She thinks Xena is her daughter Hope, and saying, you don't understand. And Xena says, yes, I do. I understand everything. And
yeah, and we ad-libbed that because it was written a certain way, and it was too many words for the environment, for the time.
It's funny 'cause I don't remember.
Yep, you and I would
remember being cold. That's all I remember.
Yeah, we workshopped it just quickly before the camera was working, and then you just go and be real in that situation. And I did see that in Looping, and I never tear up about things, but that was really sad.
She's so hard.
Well, My husband cries at things, when a sad situation happens to Xena and Gabrielle. He's very affected. Yeah. And I'm going, are you kidding me? Cut some time out of that. Needs to be cut tighter.
There's two things about this group out here. One is that there's a lot of birthdays. Don't start singing happy birthday song. It's illegal. But raise your hand if it's your birthday out there. Like Mark Boyd and his daughter, who's out there.
Happy day, everybody.
Can we just say happy birthday to the birthday people?
Happy birthday, people.
Happy birthday.
Isn't that crummy
Thanks,
that song is not allowed?
Yeah.
If we could sing it, we would sing it to you.
For he's a jolly good fellow.
Oh,
for he-
is that copyright?
I don't know.
I think that's okay. I don't think it holds a copyright to that.
I bet that Stevie Nicks one is.
Then there's 16 Candles.
Happy birthday anyway, from the bottom of our hearts. From the hearts of our bottoms. Happy birthday.
And I also want you to know that there is a ton of fundraising going on all weekend. There are brunches in this building and other buildings. There are T-shirts being sold, raffles being held, auctions going on stage, people doing auctions online. And this has been going on pretty much since the series began.
I really want to thank you guys and all the people that weren't here for being a force for good. You know, you could just be here enjoying
watching,
yourselves, but
yeah.
for making something terrific happen and
been the
spreading
greatest
more
effect.
joy. That it makes us feel we're so grateful for it, because very often all you hear is negative stuff, and we really hold on to hearing that great stuff that you guys are contributing to different charities and helping one another out, because it's heartening to us to know that we're doing what we do for good human beings. So thank you.
And from the sublime to the ridiculous, Renee, how is it swinging through the air on a rope with Ted Raimi in Fins, Femmes, and Gems? Seeing as Ted's here. Do you remember
wasn't
doing
he
that?
naked? I think he was.
No, he was wearing the pink
Yeah, no.
diaphanous outfit, remember?
I was swinging through the air with Ted.
And did you really swing?
I don't. Yeah, probably. You know, with Ted, who knows? But I don't know.
Were you on a
Trying to
crane?
remember.
No, we didn't
I
have
think we
crane
actually-
rigs in those days. They would have found some
we probably
clever way
ran
to do
across the stage like this or
Oh,
something.
that's right, yeah.
You know, that sort of thing. Whoa, you know. So,
The Hollywood version, huh?
We did a lot of that. A lot of little tricks.
yeah.
And of course, speaking of the American Comedy Awards, somebody here picked up Hal Sparks. Which one of you picked up Hal Sparks?
Oh, that'd be me. I haven't seen Queer as Folk yet. I think it's on a Tuesday night here or something. But I hear he's amazing. He was very charming and yeah, good guy.
You also picked up David Spade.
Did I?
Yeah, he said so.
Oh yeah, I did too. That got cut out in the end. But Hal Sparks is heavier than David Spade.
Just,
Hal Sparks is 150 pounds. Hal Sparks weighs more than me.
you're very strong.
I couldn't believe it. It's because I've been doing Pilates just recently, so otherwise I would have been...
In the series, did you ever actually pick up Renee during any of the scenes when Xena was carrying Gabrielle?
Several times, I'm sure.
Not
I
that...
carried you,
I mean,
didn't
we had it rigged because my back wasn't particularly good. So that's just something that I've been able to do more recent since we finished. I was a little weak.
I definitely remember one time. Lucy had to carry me, though. It was when I was supposed to be pregnant with Hope. And she just kept
And
running
that's why
across.
Gabrielle got dragged out in the rain that time. Remember, you guys are going, how come she's helping Eve and dragging Renee? It's only because I can't carry two people. And because it looked kind of cool.
It was great.
And Renee sold it so well. You know, it really looked
The
like
limp
she
body.
was immobile. But in fact, it's Renee stiffening her body and like making it happen. So
It wasn't a mannequin. It was really you being dragged through the...
Oh, yeah, I just kept watching the rain machine starting to come down. It was quite an eerie effect. Watching, okay, Lucy, it's about to come, it's about to come. Woohoo! It's going. Yeah, no.
the rain machines.
I'd love to hear the explanation of why Xena and Gabrielle, when alone, go to bed fully clothed,
With boots
But-
on, right?
with boots on, but when there's a guy there, Aries, they strip down to their G-strings.
It was
I have
muggy.
to question, why would Xena ever wear that goofy outfit anyway?
You guys didn't bring that underwear from home?
Actually, the underwear was cute, wasn't it? The underwear was cute.
I think Gabrielle made it for
I think it
Xena.
was because we were supposed to be like undercover. We were undercover
supposed to be
as farm
undercover.
girls. We were uncovered, yeah.
It was a muggy, rainy night.
I don't know. It wasn't our idea. It just happens, and we were too weak to resist.
She just keeps looking at you, Lucy. There was another scene in that bed going on, which took a lot of technique, Renee.
And she messed up once so good. Do you remember when you felt up Kevin Smith?
I was trying to be discreet, and I kept trying to flop it on his chest, on his face, and then they said, look, Renee, the joke isn't going to work unless you hit him. So I hit him, and I couldn't keep a straight face for the rest of the scene. I just was going, oh, God. It was hard. It was bad.
There was a little chuckling going on, huh?
You could
But
see
isn't
my
it-
body shaking, I think. You know?
Yeah.
Isn't it amazing what they forget? Do you know how long it took for that to register on Renee?
Yeah.
Oh, time flies when you're having fun, right? You, You've both done a lot of fighting with stunt people. So in Aries Farm, you had to fight each other.
It was just on the television, I think. That,
Yeah, it was a fake fight to
Yeah.
fool some warlords. Come on, warrior princess. Come on, warrior princess.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like you did a lot of it.
That's a very Lucy Renee thing. Yeah.
we kept adding the bumping and, you know.
Yeah.
What kind of bumping?
We can't do that bumping
Yeah,
because
because my stomach hits first. We just saw that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, in the tent. Oh, that was great. Because
She got it.
You have to understand these.
so nice fighting with Renee because she's so darn good. It's like fighting with the best stunties.
Yeah, right.
It's like fighting. I never get to fight Zoe or Renee. Or,
I got to fight Zoe. That was
Yeah,
wild.
fighting Zoe's a pleasure.
Yeah.
So,
And she, again, teaches you as you go.
because you know you're always.
How to make it
She's
look-
always going to be. She's going to make you look good. She's always going to be where your punches go. You know, if you're. The hilt of your sword is coming in for a hit. Her face is going to be perfectly positioned, and I mean, you could do it blindfolded, and she's going to make you look good. So, thanks, Zoe, wherever you are. A lot of wonderful stunt women, but Renee is
It's all back to
the
me.
best.
Come on.
In The Haunting of Amphipolis, you guys were tied together. Difficult to do?
No, because I've watched
Arms.
Evil Dead 1,000 times. So, yeah, that was fun. That was fun. But Renee really got the sharp end of the stick that time because she got put in that slimy, stinky water, and she was covered in like
Actually, it was
avocado,
quite-
Vegemite. That was vomitous, wasn't
Actually,
it?
it's funny when you're ignorant about the whole thing because you come out and little
I
do you
was
know,
just
everyone's retching because of the smell of artichokes that you're wearing.
Oh, was it
You know,
artichoke
it was
or
just-
asparagus?
going
Something
along.
disgusting.
Yeah, it's artichoke,
And,
asparagus, mayonnaise. But actually, you don't. But when you're wearing it, you don't mind. That's what I mean. I was fine. Yeah. No.
It was okay for you, Renee, huh? The rest of the cast just keeping their
they
distance.
kept far away.
And from Danielle, who's here, and Kelly Smith and Veronique Reed, who's not. During a recent... Well, they couldn't come. Just getting friendly with the boom man, huh?
It's roaming. It's Big Brother.
Lucy once said that she had in an interview said that she had an idea for an episode. Do you remember what it was, and did they ever use it, or a germ of an idea?
Oh, yeah, Renee and I thought, yeah, let's write something.
Yeah, we could do that.
Easy,
Oh, far out.
peasy.
That's so hard.
I wanted to do the Helen Keller story.
Aren't you glad you didn't see it?
Yeah, but I know some of my other ideas, and it made their way into other episodes. I'd like to think, yeah. And Renee had this really cool story about the 7 virtues. Is it 7?
Yeah.
Being at war and...
It was quite funny because I spent a lot of time writing the beat sheet, and Rob was so nice about it. He said, well, you know, it was pretty good, Renee, but no one understood what it meant. But good on you, you know, for trying.
The truth is, we just got, right after there, so busy. What happened?
I was just on a roll of just trying to...
You started directing, and I got involved with the hospital, and we, you know,
trying to find
life
other
took
things
over.
to fulfill.
And we were struggling just to be actors, so
We should have just stopped there.
put that on hold.
I'm going to remind you, guys, you are there, modern day episode, Michael Hurst, the reporter, right?
Oh, yeah.
There's a power failure at the end of that episode. And Zena started to say, well, technically...
I don't know, it was a ... on the page.
There was nothing on the page.
What you really said was that...
For all the time...
What she said.
She said, Zena... No.
You can think what you like.
Renee, when you first played Gabrielle, and you're going to be... Gabrielle wanted to go with Zena, and you needed to find a way to relate to her. How did Gabrielle look at Zena when they first met? What was she, this late rides into town, this warrior, adventuresome?
I think she just wanted the breastplates. That's all that mattered. Gabrielle wanted to be the warrior. That's what. Yeah.
You couldn't fit him anymore.
And at the time, they fell
not
off.
that way, this way. What's the matter with you people?
Gabrielle always tried on the boots at night. And
That's where you got
swishy
that
skirt.
fungus.
Yeah, we shared the foot fungus, yeah.
We share everything.
So were you just kind of sort of hero worship, or I'm trying to think of what
I think she might have used the phrase, I'm just in awe.
But I use that all the time.
Actually, I'm leading up to something, but
What-
you're
what
not
is- what
picking
is the
up on it.
question?
When I first started playing Gabrielle, I wanted to find a way to relate to Lucy, and I'd never played with a woman who was the hero. There was obviously the maternal connection, but I remember playing the love or affection for a person with her.
I am 4 years older than you. 4.
Cradle robber.
What do you mean?
In my mind, that's how I started to relate Gabrielle to Zena. I was falling in love with this woman.
Explain that.
No, it was serious. I liked it. Do you remember what you...
I don't remember you ever saying that.
I think I said something to the sort, yeah. But yeah, that was true. Rather than, like it became a sister relationship, it was all about love. And so, of course...
It was all about love.
Yeah.
It was. Every minute of every day was about love.
Yeah. I do have to say that the relationship between these two is a
Blossomed.
first. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
It's been amazing. Yeah. First on TV.
Yeah.
I never wanted the whole subtext issue to become like a grubby gag. And there were times when Renee and I went,
It feels too much like a gimmick.
This belittles gay people, it belittles straight people. It's just that for there to be subtext, to me, is completely fine, but I don't want to make it a grubby little joke. That's low. So if there were times when we objected to it, is because it wasn't of a.
It was.
It wasn't uplifting.
It was for an effect that someone else wanted, as opposed to being about the love between the two people.
And sometimes we might have failed in that. You know, sometimes we might have been too joking, and but it's never been in our hearts to make that subject a grubby joke. Yeah, we don't like that. So.
In other words, when people would make fun of it from the outside, basically they were stepping on the love between two characters, between two human beings.
Whether you want to see them as straight or you want to see them as gay is irrelevant to the fact that these are two characters that love and care and respect one another. And I don't know any gay people that wear their gayness as... Yeah. I said it to a journalist the other day. It's like, I felt as if they're trying to put a little armband on you and so that they can put you in a box and forget about you. Right. You know, so...
We didn't want to label the characters. We just wanted to work with the relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah. Renee, do you remember what Gabrielle said to Zena the first time they met? You've got to take me with you and teach me everything you know.
I'm not like the other girl. Oh, no, what is it? I'm not the little girl they think I am. Is that right?
Yep.
I wonder if Gabrielle had time to think about that as she was leading the troops onto the beach during the war at Helicon. And if she had known what lessons she would learn with Xena, would she make the same choice today to follow the warrior princess?
You live by the sword, you die by the sword. She chose the life of being with her best friend Xena, and that obviously affected her. So I think.
And there was a long time where she was choosing the way of peace and non-violence, and then just went, that ain't working
that doesn't
for me
work
anymore. And that actually happens in life, doesn't it? You know that.
It's a balance, and
you just got to keep evolving, and I suppose that's what happened to our characters.
And Renee once said, "If I shed a tear, Lucy turns into a waterfall." When they're working together. Does that come partly from, Lucy, from your own emotional vulnerability and partly from what you get from each other?
It's vice versa too, isn't it? I know that sometimes it doesn't matter if the camera's on either side if we're working in a scene.
That you're just genuinely empathetic and whatever happens. I don't know. And you try to be there for your partner in the scene, whoever it is. And it's, of course, easiest for Renee and I because we're together longer. Sorry, ignoring all those people over here. It's easier for Renee and I because we've been together longer and know each other better.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a poem that's going to be read in an upcoming episode, speaking of the other side of the coin, which you seem to have a great deal of difficulty getting through.
Yeah, that was from Many Happy Returns. It was one of the, I think it was the third to last episode that we filmed. And it was a beautiful goodbye. Well, for me, it was a goodbye poem. Sappho wrote it. I guess I can tell that right? It was a great day. You know, we were up working on Bethel's Beach, which has this cliff top, and you can just see the expanse of New Zealand. It was gorgeous around all these beautiful people, and there was Lucy and I having this funny moment together, which was one of the last before we really dug in to, have our finale.
And you know Xena's just sitting there going,
What?
It doesn't even rhyme. Haiku schmaiku.
Knowing how the series ends, you guys do, we don't have a clue. Are you satisfied with it?
I've seen little bits of it. I very rarely see finished products of our episodes. It's perhaps why I can't remember them because we're so busy just making the current one. And I've seen tiny bits of this one. There's some truly...
I saw some too, and
truly...
heart-wrenching, lovely, beautiful moments.
Some truly,
gorgeous.
Shocking moments. It's a real... it's one hell of a journey.
Yeah. I think...
in the end, I feel a real sense of closure.
Yeah.
I feel...
the characters come into a complete circle. So
and you'll see what we mean. But
Oh, nothing's easy. Every moment about the show was,
every moment.
it was just heart and soul trying to make it the best that we could.
Sue Binder from our office watched the, if you don't mind me saying this, Sue, she watched the last 2 episodes in a very, very rough form and just cried the whole way through. So,
Good sign.
I mean,
huh?
there's a lot of good, wonderful stuff in it.
Yeah, it's beautifully done. Yeah.
Beautifully shot. It's
I cried too.
big stuff for us, yeah.
It's good. It's just great. I mean,
Very challenging. And you know what? If it wasn't challenging and if it didn't just kick ass to the end, if we weren't making the bold choices in how the show is written and the choices you make in the acting, the choices you make in the editing, if those people weren't making bold choices, it wouldn't honour the last 6 years of blood, sweat and tears that we put in. And all I can tell you is we went down with vigour to the very end, every ounce of everything we had. And I don't even know if you can say that. I don't know if I can say I like it, but I love it. What happened, the way it ends.
So
you'll see. You'll all
no-
see, and then we can have a chat.
knowing what you do about the 6 years that Xena was like, the good parts, the bad parts, the wet, the cold, the rats, the hanging upside down, the mini costumes in the 40-degree weather. What am I missing? Being buried up to your neck in sand. Right? Would you do it again?
If I could go back in time,
I would do it again.
I would do it again.
Absolutely.
To start now, I couldn't do it again.
Starting Monday?
If I started Monday, I couldn't do it again.
If we had to go a 7th year, I mean, I would have been up for it and we would have gone vigorously towards the end, but it would have been really hard. And I think after that, after another year of Xena, I would be physically, it would take me a long time to recover.
It was magic, and it was in a wonderful place and in time and space, and that can never be recreated. That's because of who we were at the beginning.
The people we were surrounded by.
That's right. And if it had been 2 other actresses, you'd have a whole different animal.
Oh,
but we are not the people now that we were when we started. So you would just never get that again. You would never have the freshness of the first couple of seasons. You would never have the pain and the growth of the 3rd, 4th, and 5th seasons. And you would... It actually wasn't painful. Sailed through the 3rd season, but we
mostly
just
ignorance was bliss, wasn't it? We had no idea what was coming up in an episode and the hardships that we were going to have throughout that. So it really tested us and made us persevere with the rest of the crew.
made me definitely a better professional and a better person, I think. It's just been, it was magic. And, yeah.
I think maybe there's just one thing this audience would like to see one more time. Could we maybe talk you into a reprise of that song?
That lovely song. We were a bit nervous when we came out, so now I'm just hoarse. So, yeah. Do it
I
again.
wondered, do we have any music queued up for this?
Last dance,
Last chance for love. Yeah, this is my last chance for romance tonight. I need you by me, beside me to guide me. to scold her. Cause when she's bad, you have no idea, she is so bad. So let's dance, this last dance, let's dance, this last dance, let's dance, this last dance tonight. Let's dance, last chance for love. Yes, it's the last chance for romance tonight. Oh, I need you by me, beside me, to guide me, to hold me, to scold me. 'Cause when I'm there, I'm so bad. So let's dance, the last dance. Let's dance, the last dance. Let's dance, this last dance tonight. Bring out the others. Ooh, let's dance. Oh, ooh, oh, let's dance. Oh, I need you by me, beside me, to guide me, to hold me, to scold me. 'Cause when I'm bad, I'm so bad. So let's come on, this last dance. Let's dance, the last dance. Let's dance, the last dance tonight. Thank you so much, everybody, for all your goodness and for your big hearts. Thank you so much. It's been a privilege and a pleasure serving you. Thank you. Great ride. We'll see you again. Thank you. Shanina Jolson, Rob Tappert, Steve Sears, Ted Ramey, Steve Sears, Stansfield, Derek Temple, and Alex Tidings. God bless you. Hi. Bye. Good night. Thank you. Rockfield. Thank you. Good night. Thank you, guys. Thanks for coming.
Just awesome. It was great.
I'm just like very overwhelmed about it. My ears are standing up just thinking about it right now.
I was so excited.
You take the high road and I'll take the low road, but I'll be in Scotland up for ya. For me and my true love will never meet again on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. By yon bonny banks and by yon bonny brae, on the cool, clear side of Benlomond. The Highland hills will view on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. What do you want to talk about? Gabbing rap. What? Gabbing rap. You know, I can't keep a beat, so you have to clap with me. Ready? Here we go. There's a 6-foot woman and her name is Zena. You can bet you've never met anybody any better. She wears a lot of leather, armor made of brass. Okay, you have to close your eyes if you're under attack. If she steps in your direction, you can bet she'll kick your ass. My best friend, I call her. It's a gift I'll always know. With her, I learn to fight the battles. Hope that peace remains a goal. At the moment, the best memory I have of the series would probably be being at Lucy's house. After we had filmed about one episode, I went over and we listened to some women singing jazz. And yeah, so I figured, okay, this is going to be a good friend of mine for a while. Actually, at the moment, it changes every day, but today, the toughest aspect about working on Xena was saying goodbye to the crew. During the last evening, they gave us these beautiful greenstones that were made out of greenstone, but in the design of a chakram, and so that was quite hard. But the rest was just easy. Lie. A couple of the guys on our lighting crew, they 6 months before we finished the show, they decided to give Lucy and I something very special. So they went to this man who designs shapes of greenstones, and he had him make this chakram, but it represents good health, good fortune, protection. So they were wishing us, happy journeys to come. They bought this piece of jade, and the boys cut these 2 pieces that fit together for Lucy and I, and then the rest of the jade they broke down into different pieces for the 100-some-odd crew members that we have, so everyone would have 1 piece of the whole. So we won't forget that. Appearing with Lucy on stage will always be an experience. No, we're going to have a great time. I'm looking forward to having fun with her without the pressures of a 14-hour day trying to get through when you're extremely tired. So it'll be fun just to go out and have a great time. Yeah, she's a riot. Well, now that Xena's finished, my husband and I have decided to start a family, so I'm already 5 months pregnant. I was nearly 4 months at the end of Xena, just hoping that Rob wouldn't need a pickup shot of me later. So, Rob, I'm not going to fit into this outfit in 2 more weeks, So, yes, so that's our plans for the rest of the year. First baby. I'll be asking Lucy many, many questions. I would love to work with Lucy again in the future, but we haven't discussed any prospective stories or anything, so we'll see. I'm sure we'll just love to have a cup of coffee together and chat like normal people for a while. Yeah. I think it was somewhere in the year 3 of Xena, I asked Rob if I could direct an episode, and so he obliged and gave me a little 4-part episode, and that was a challenge. And then just recently, last year I said, I'd really like to try one more time since this is our last year. And he went, oh, okay, Renee. And next thing I knew, I had this 8-day episode that had so many stunts in it and gags that I was completely overwhelmed, but excited because it all went together quite smoothly. So yeah, I think I had the directing bug as well as the acting bug. Now it's just a matter of trying to juggle family, directing, and acting all together. But I'm sure it can be done. So it's just a matter of getting out there. It's funny, I think Lucy playing Xena had a higher profile than I did at playing Gabrielle. And in New Zealand, since the show wasn't airing, I went about my way completely anonymously. Here in Los Angeles, since I've just arrived for this convention, I haven't had a problem at all. I had one man come up to me and he said, "I can't believe you can walk around without anyone saying you're Gabrielle." And I said, no, it's great. It's actually quite interesting because I'm learning as I go how popular the show is. I think I was sort of kept from that, you know, by my own doing. It's to me, it was a job, and I felt passionate about it and wanted to just concentrate on the work rather than the effect that we were having on the world. Well, yeah, it's funny.
This is, I think, I've been told the first time that you guys are appearing together on stage at a convention.
It won't happen again.
It is too. It is too. I never thought of that.
So,
Oh.
have you ever done anything together?
We do. We do
Don't talk about that
everything
a bit.
together. I feel like we do everything together. But that's right. I'm surprised now that you mention it. It's true.
We haven't done anything outside of the show, really. Yeah.
But
although this is about the show.
we never do anything outside the show, period. Okay. Yeah, this is kind of a special event because this is the first time we've been together. And you won't see that very often.
Yeah.
Just because any time that we're not at work, we're in private with our families. And yeah, we seldom get the opportunity to go out separately altogether.
Much less
Yes.
perform.
Yeah.
Favorite memories of working with this lady next to you in the series? In 6 years, what comes to mind?
Mine was really good, so you have a
We, was it the cabbages?
Oh, no.
That was. What I remember are the times of teasing between us, because the more we got to know each other, the more our friendship infused into our acting. And in between times, there was lots of opportunities for trying to make the downtime fun. And so we're always, Renee's always playing these really lame practical jokes.
I started that recently.
And I always come along and thwart them quite by accident.
I had organized these breadcrumbs to put on her chair because she had the little Xena skirt. She would sit on the breadcrumbs and have a crunchy
all through the
feel.
take, I'd have.
So yeah, I spent so much time making sure that it was exact color of the leather on the chair, just to watch. And I showed Alex playing Aphrodite and said to watch this one, you know.
So they say, "Lucy, hurry up, sit down, we're about to film." And I walk over and scat, clear the chair and sit down. And they're all laughing because Renee's carefully hatched plan. But she's doing all these
swipe,
crazy Texan tricks on me, like, you know, kick me signs on your back and all those.
It was I
classics.
slimed her doorknob one day, thinking that would be a
And
really
I just
good
come
one.
along and go,
Actually, Rob
"No."
did. Rob came in, opened the door because he was going to watch something in your room or something, and
We thought she'd hardened up by now. We thought she'd be doing something really nasty, like sellotaping the pork chop underneath your camper table, so that 3 days later there's this terrible
great.
smell. I've always meant to do that one on you, but I ruined it now.
There'll be another time, maybe. I'll
There'll
remember.
be another time.
So I'm confused. Were those the good memories or the bad memories?
Yeah, both.
No, that's
Those are the good memories.
no, that's the good stuff.
So what was the hardest thing on the series? Not working with Renee, but I mean, you know, what was the toughest thing about, you know, being...
Nothing. It was all a total pleasure and a real cruise, especially. Eventually, you just get tired of bitching about the winter, or you know, you can only
cold.
say that so many times, and
And it was character building, truly, actually.
yeah, and I think the whole experience has made me a better person, much more disciplined, and it's been an awesome education. So, and it seems I feel totally complete about the show and the character, and to me it feels like, you know, when it's over, and that Xena could only have existed in that time and space, and Gabrielle's, well, I can't speak for you, but that I will not be able to revisit this 5 years down the track. They'll, and I'm sure that Xena will live on. They'll recast or something, but well, they will. They will. There's nothing surer. They will. It's too great. I mean, they won't recast Gabrielle.
Oh, but of course
clearly,
not, yeah.
You've got longevity, but
put the wig back on. She'll be fine. Much younger.
But yeah, I feel a certain amount of closure with the character. There was nothing that I feel that I didn't get to do. You?
Oh, no. I did more than I ever expected.
Yeah, it was so challenging every step of the way.
New lessons, every couple months. Okay, now you're going to learn how to crack a bullwhip. The week before, you're learning Indian dance lessons,
Renee was great at that. She was very disciplined. They'd ask,
they'd
set up a new challenge, and Renee would go for weekend practices.
It sounded like you felt a little bit sad, and it seems like it's always sad when these things wrap. And when I do a movie, we're always sad when you see everybody kind of drift off into the wind. How's that feeling into the room?
I truly don't know how I feel about any of it. It was, it's been a pretty heavy duty the last 3 months, and I've been completely discombobulated and uncommunicative, and even now, I don't know how. I don't actually feel sad, but I expect they'll come. It might happen today, I'll get out there and I don't know when that'll happen, but not yet. I just was luxuriating in the ability to give my body a break. If we had to go a 7th year, I mean, I would have been up for it, and we would have gone vigorously towards the end. But it would have been really hard, and I think after that, after another year of Xena, I would be physically. It would take me a long time to recover. It's taken me about a month now, and I've been sick, a little bit sick the whole time, and truly, it feels great. It feels great to be able to be sick, and not have anybody counting on me to turn up for work. I can't remember where I was going with that thought. I've lost everything,
It's all right.
I've lost I don't remember things. I don't, yeah. I'm quite excited about all the choices I have, and I don't mean career choices, but the choices of what to do in a day, to be able to go to lunch or see my friends seems like such, seem like jewels. I've got all these jewels in front of me now, and I had forgotten that that was something that was easily available to me before, because for a long time it just wasn't an option, so I completely forgot about it. So otherwise you're always like beating your head against a brick wall going, oh, I wish I was making movies, or I want to see my friend. Well, you can't keep complaining about stupid things like that, so you just stop wanting them to protect yourself. So now I'm just like tickled pink about all the things you can do in a day. It's exciting. There's so many hours in a day to do fun things.
Great.
And it was always fun before too. I don't mean to say it wasn't, but it was what was it? It was organised fun. It was prescribed. We're here, so we're damn well going to have a great time. And now it's just thrilling.
Yeah, you can go out to coffee when you want.
You can go out to coffee.
Yeah.
I know that
Not
sounds
have to worry about
twee,
being on
it
set.
sounds silly to say it, but for me, it's heaven. I love the fact that Xena was a piece of magic in my life. The whole production and the relationship with the cast and crew was lightning in a bottle. The whole thing was a wonderful alchemy.